What do we have here? Nice big package arrived in the mail the other day, and we have one adapter plate, one machined bell housing, the bit that goes on, slides on the gearbox for the release bearing. Not even sure what they're called actually, but it's a nice piece. Release bearing and all the hardware to bolt it all up. So the bell housing got machined on the face here. That's to bring the gearbox closer to the engine, and then this adapter plate spaces it back out again. And they also clearance it a bit on the side here for where the starter motor goes, because normally on the 3S the starter motor will be here, but for the 4H guys it gets flipped and it's now on the other side. And the adapter plate has all that inside, ready for it to, for a starter motor to bolt up to. Unpackage this. So there we have it, nice fat adapter plate, all machined out, even pre-doweled, dowels in there to line up for the lock, threaded holes for gearbox to bolt up to. So use these ones here, I believe, the indented ones to then bolt the adapter plate up to the engine. These ones here to bolt the starter motor through, and then basically the other holes all for the gearbox when that slaps back on. So relatively straightforward for the plate. There you go, Niteparts. Real good to deal with. Brendan's the man. He's super helpful. Sends all the instructions through on how to take apart the gearbox, how to bolt it all up. Yeah, very helpful. And it looks the part, and I'm assuming it will fit the part, so time will tell. So next trick is to then put this bell housing on the gearbox, and to do that it's a matter of removing these bolts that go all the way around, removing this Allen key bolt here that actually locates a selector, I believe, that's inside the gearbox. Probably remove all the clutch stuff while I'm there, and then you have to remove the plate that's in here that bolts through, and then there's two circlips under there that hold the bearings. They pop off, and then the bell housing should come out. And I think you have to be mindful when pulling it off that the selector here doesn't fly everywhere, and it still sits where it should be. So that's the next project, give that a crack. So after taking the cover off, you can now see the bearings. Make sure the engine's actually, gearbox is actually empty of oil. Started dribbling out in blazes. This thing's of course siliconed on, and there's actually this little tab on the edge of it that sits down there that you can get in through the hole there, and then you can pop it right off. So now to take the clips off and then undo the rest of the bolts. Rough check of what's what. Make sure everything looks the part. It does. The gears are all no lips on them whatsoever. Still paint marks on the selector. Look how beefy this thing is compared to the T50. The shafts are a lot bigger. So here's the Allen key that comes through the side. It actually locates into that doofer, which that hangs up in there. It sits there like so. Should be interesting when putting it back together. I've seen guys put rubber bands on there to hold it on. They just melt down in the oil anyway, so they don't mind. We'll see. Shouldn't be too hard to get it in. Now I have been thinking of doing the 6-speed upgrade out of a Nissan box. So Nissan 6 speeds actually are the same. I suppose the internal workings are the same, the casings are different possibly. I think the tail shafts and the bow housing and whatnot are different. But gearing wise they have a longer 6th gear, which would make it better for cruising and that sort of thing. So I've been toying up with that idea, but I think at this stage, because it's not exactly cheap to go find a 6-speed gear, maybe I'll just leave it as is. Unless I stumble across one day, then I'll put it in and see what it does, just like this.
hope you enjoyed this short video. Bye.